The Shark Tank. No jumper. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world.
Okay.
And today, I have the opportunity and the privilege to sit down with these three lovely ladies, Jada, Lely, Gavin. We had to correct it because she swears she was like, and like I said, maybe it's just out of habit that you're so used to having to correct somebody. Because I was like, damn, I said it right the first time. I was like,
you did.
I'm just trying to keep us all together, ladies. Keep us as
love that.
one. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
I definitely want to talk about it. You guys have done a movie called Robbin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, if you guys can, explain your guys' characters and how you had to portray these roles. Can we start with you, Jada?
Yeah, so my character is Q.
Okay.
And for me personally, because I'm from New York, and like I grew up in the hood, and my character, she was basically me. She was the pretty girl in the hood. She loved to dress. She's like into makeup and fashion and having her hair cute. So it wasn't hard for me to step into Q because that was already who I was. It wasn't
Right.
like I had to do research to figure out what it was like to embody this character.
You didn't have to play it. You have to be it for a year before you know.
Exactly. So it was honestly, it was pretty easy stepping into that and just being the type of person that I am, the friend I am, showing up when my friends need me, being loyal to a fault sometimes, like willing to take whatever consequences that come with it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So you didn't feel like Q. She don't feel like she has any type of betraying type of personality. Everybody trusts her. Everybody's cool with her.
Like Q is very black and white. It's not like somebody who you gotta look at sideways or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like what you see is what you get with Q.
Right.
I'm very just straightforward. Like
Right.
I might make a joke, but ain't shit funny.
Right. Well, I'm sure we're all gonna laugh. You know, I hope it's got a character where it's cute, but he's still doing some dainty shit as y'all Robin. Like, ain't touching that shit dirty.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's very
saying?
me.
Like,
That's very cute.
That's very cute.
I think that's gonna be dope. You know, I definitely want to say. How about you, lady?
So I play Camila. She's pregnant throughout the whole movie.
Okay.
I'm the Latin girl I'm Latin, obviously.
Right.
But
Didn't have to embody that.
yeah, didn't have to try too hard. Exactly. You know. But I grew up in Miami, so I didn't grow up hood, but I feel like there's some hood in me. A lot of people think I'm from New York. I embrace it.
Miami got
But
it.
Miami, I mean, growing up in Miami, you embody a lot of, cultures, and we do hustle. We're very hustle minded in Miami, and we're about our money, and people just get into things sometimes, and it's okay. It's Miami. Everyone's just not even trying to work too much. So I feel that, and in my character, I relate. I've never been pregnant, but it was fun to play, this pregnant girl who's robbing this bank while she's like 8 months pregnant. But I think being able to put myself in my character's shoes and trying to get money for her family and just trying to do something for her family, something that I would do, not necessarily probably rob a bank, but I know that I would do anything for my family. So I relate to that, and I was able to put that into my character and embrace that. So
you played 8 months pregnant?
I mean, I was pregnant throughout the whole thing, but I think it kind of grew. Yeah, it grew throughout the movie, but starting off the movie, it was already a belly you could see. So I could say I was maybe 5 months at the beginning of the movie, and then to the point I gave birth.
You playing that, did it make you kind of want to have kids?
I mean, I think
right? It's like, would that make it? Yeah. Did that make you want to have
I
children?
mean, it looked so real too.
it looked so real. I was eating like I was pregnant. I was tired like I was pregnant. It was funny because I felt really like I was really living this
It's a hell of a simulation.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think as a woman, I think a lot of us dream of that moment. Eventually, I'm not ready for it right now, but I think eventually I would love to be pregnant. But I want to be in a time where like I'm ready for it, and I can embrace every aspect, and I'm really going to take advantage of being pregnant because there's pregnant privilege, that I want to be able to take.
You were just pregnant. I think you should wait a little while.
Yeah.
Go back.
We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
Get there.
Back to back.
Yeah, but it was a fun experience, and I think we'll see a lot of like that motherly instinct through Camila and a lot of her decisions throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely be dope. I can't wait to see just what y'all explained, y'all two so far. Like, you know, and I've caught the trailer, like I've caught everything like that's been going on. I'm like, okay, this about to be something.
Yeah,
So
and our
I'm definitely-
transformation too, even physically throughout the movie. Like we have our,
We all do.
you know, makeovers.
Did some of
too.
y'all start off like uglier and then like y'all got badder throughout the
No,
movie?
my character, she
I
was
did.
always
Yeah,
cute.
say something. Look, she said nah.
Q was
Nah.
always
Yeah,
cute.
no,
He was always cute.
Yeah, he was always cute.
I had the jewelry.
always
I had
cute,
the like I
in the
was.
beginning. Yeah.
It was really me and Erica who had a transformation later on at that time, because at the beginning I was like, I don't know if I would wear this. Oh yeah, you too.
I did too. Okay.
Yeah, we had a little
we had a
glow up.
transformation. Yeah, but Q was always cute. So yeah.
Gavin, you seem like you got a lot to say. Can you please tell us?
I really don't.
Please tell us about.
I really don't.
Well, please, you know what I'm saying, involve us into your character
My
one time.
character. Okay, so I play Trina, who is, yes, from the hood. I am not from the hood. I'm born and raised in LA, but I was born in Santa Clarita.
How did you embody that?
I don't know how I did. I mean, I've been acting since I was a kid, and I am comfortable in front of the camera, and I love putting on a role and playing roles that stretch me. But this really, really did stretch me.
Yeah.
I could
There was
tell.
one line that she was like, I can't do this.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. And you'll probably see in the movie. There's a few lines that, they were a stretch for me. They were a stretch for me.
So you say it was it was actually hard to play a quote unquote street person.
It was in a sense of like, okay, that is not necessarily how I like, the character isn't necessarily how I speak, for example. But yeah, I mean, I think all of us can relate to our characters in that, again, we are about sisterhood. We are girls. We are about just supporting what we need to do, whatever that is, to make our lives better. And that's really what these girls are about. So in that way, I can relate to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a stretch and it was fun. And it was first very nerve-wracking and uncomfortable to just play someone that was so different than myself. But I hope that it turned out
Well,
good.
I mean, I'm sure.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm sure me and you could both agree that, you know, we've seen a lot of actors that, you know, play, very either dark or very edgy roles.
Yes.
And then when you hear them and they sit down and they'll do an interview, they're
completely
like, hi ho,
different.
cheerio.
Yeah.
You know, can I have my crumpets and tea? You know,
Yeah.
and they'll play a very hood or a very dominant figure,
Sure.
you know, in either a TV series or a movie, you know, and you'll think that's really them because they played it that damn good.
Yeah.
Well, I had a.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say what I did connect to and what made me even more comfortable with playing the role was just the fact that I could be myself playing someone that's from, this neighborhood. So in other words, I'm quirky as hell. And I thought that Trina would be too. So there's times where Trina's quiet. There's times when you're kind of like, what's going on in her mind? And then sometimes she speaks and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. And I think like we had a few moments like that where I just kind of brought Gavin to Trina. So
I can agree with that.
You know what I
because
mean?
I read the script, like
Yeah.
reading the script, I read the whole script.
Right.
And so when I envisioned Trina before I saw you, when I envisioned Trina, she was like this.
she was different.
Yeah, like she was kind of aggressive and more like assertive when she was saying it, but you definitely brought like quirkiness to
And,
her,
like, a sweetness.
Yeah,
And a
but it was a
sweetness, yeah.
sweetness and like the way that you put a twist to what I thought Trina would be like, typically just from reading off paper.
Right.
It was cute to see, like you
Yeah.
made her you. Yeah, so that way.
Well,
I tried.
I like that too because, like, all in all, if you think about it, because I agree. I
were
read the
so
whole script.
different, too.
We were
All of us
different,
were
but
so
a lot of the
different.
script kind of like played into each other.
Yes.
Versus now, because there was a face to it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I saw how every character had his own
Totally
character.
own
You know how,
thing.
like, when you
Yeah.
watch a movie or a show, you kind of identify yourself with somebody. And you're like, I'm more like so and so. You know, and in my head, they were all kind of all similar. But then when when you
Brought
came
it.
with your aspect and everybody came and brought, their own to it, it just felt different and diverse and just and it's dope
And
how it all
fun
comes
and
together.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's like a very fresh take on what I think is a classic, set it off. So
Right.
it has that as an inspiration for sure. I think the director and the writer would agree, but yeah, it's definitely kind of a fresher, modern take on it.
So is this since the filming of Robbin, is this the first time you guys have actually got to sit down and talk about it and unpack together? Is this the first time you guys seen each other since then?
Yeah.
It is.
Since then, and also during the movie, it was the first time we ever met each other.
Yeah.
We never known
we
each other
didn't know
until-
anything about each other, so it just felt like we were embracing the character, but none of us knew the background of who we were.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know how Erica was off her character, or you, or Gavin, or Saraya. So I just feel like when we came into because even for me, I got to know the girls really who they were after the movie we shot it. After we shot it, I was like, oh, because we were we were put in the character right away that I don't think any of us knew who we were as before the character.
Like I was saying earlier, how like after we would get off set and it's like exchanging Instagrams and really like diving into who everybody is outside of being on set, and it's like, oh, okay, she's this. So it's like, even with me now, the next day when I see you, I'm like, oh, okay, I see who you really are and how you're embodying this character. But it's like, it's so refreshing to know that you're different outside of who this is. Even if you might show up and you might be a little timid, it's like you got your emotion outside of this. So I can see why they had you do Trina, and I can see why they had you do Camila, and so on and so forth.
Speaking of Trina, because I heard you say earlier that you were like, you started bringing some Gavin into the mix. You started bringing some natural you into the mix. Do you feel like it made you embody the character a little easier?
Absolutely.
Once you start putting yourself, it's like sitting there kind of reading and they're like, act this way. You're like, look, I'm gonna say the lines, but I'm gonna say it kind of my way.
Well, you have to. As an actor, that's when the magic happens, is when you bring who you really are to what's on the page and to the character. So they don't want cookie cutter characters. They don't want people that are exactly, I'm speaking kind of, I think what writers would agree with. They have this character in mind and they're going to put it on the page, but then the magic happens when someone kind of brings themselves, their real life experiences to what they've to what they've come up with, and then
Would you say that that's why they would say in the business, great acting isn't acting at all?
Do they say that?
I mean, I've heard them say it from some of the. I've heard them say it from. If I tell you who I've heard it from some of the best. I mean, like, Chet Hanks, shout out to him. That's my boy. That's Tom Hanks' son. And I asked him, because I had to do this role. For this movie, and I asked him. I said, hey, like, what I'm saying? How would your daddy tell you to play? He says, man, my dad always told me, man, great acting ain't acting at all.
Wow.
He said, you just go in there.
Living.
It's really just living. And that's from a great. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
When I heard it, it made sense. It was like, don't try too hard, just be yourself in it. You know what I'm saying? If they like it, they like. You'll find that's why people have agents and things like that, is to put you in a role that's fitting for you.
For sure.
That's what's important, And it sounds like they kind of pinpointed, like they got it right with everybody, because everybody kind of lives like that already out of you two. And then it's like they really put you to the test a little bit, but you did it, That's
so in that way, I would agree with you then. It's finding that real life connection to the character.
It's like putting yourself like in the shoes of the person you're portraying,
I gotta ask you guys, and I'll go one on one. Like, what made you say yes to this role, JD? Like, what made you? Was it because it was something you felt like, all right, this is easy, or do you feel like, I'm about to really start, like, I want to start really acting, I'm taking this serious?
Well, honestly, this is my second movie with them.
Okay.
So the first movie that I did with them was I Hate You to Death, and it was basically about a man who had 3 wives, and then we didn't know about each other. We ended up finding out about each other, and then we all basically come up with this master plan to come up. Can I curse?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
We're past that time limit. Yeah, do your shit. They hit the marker down here already.
And so basically with that one, like, I love that role, but it was also like, I feel like kind of like typical like relationship shit. So I feel like with this particular role with Q, it was more action. I got to do stunts. I got to rob a bank. Like, it was fun. It was fun to me. So it was
got on some ghetto Charlie's Angels shit real
and
quick.
I didn't have to have like a romance with anyone. I didn't have to do any of that. There was no love scene for me. There was no, you know what I mean? So it was something that I definitely wanted to take on. So in a sense, you could say it was easy. And then in a sense, I feel like it was also showing like the versatility that no, I don't always have to be associated with a partner or love interest or this or
Shows
that.
you diversity.
Yeah, diversity.
I feel you.
Exactly.
I feel you.
Exactly. So yeah, like I'm grateful for the role, and like I mentioned to them before, I don't have an agent, and I've never taken an acting class, and for me to keep getting blessed with certain opportunities.
Because you're really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was
Thank
shocked
you.
when I heard that. I was like, wait,
Thank
what?
you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get up there and it's like I'm just feeding off y'all energy. I'm like, okay, they look comfortable doing what they doing, so
I would be comfortable.
I'll be comfortable too, I guess.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's some people that just have that it factor.
They do.
That natural talent.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
It's true.
and you know, I look at it like this for you, Jada. Like for you not to have an agent, and for you not to went into any type of like, you know, schooling for like where you just go to acting school or you go sit down in a few classes. Girl, you might want to do that because it's if you're good now, it's only going to up your game even greater. So it would be crazy to see you actually go get some of that stuff and it become a part of your tool bag.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I was saying to them, like, because I got the opportunity so easy and it just came so effortlessly, I did feel like that was God's way of telling me to, like,
Go get your
water
ass
it.
right. Yeah, go get your weather together, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you ain't gonna no woman or nobody stays young and vibrant forever. So I feel like the
Man,
good
I just
years.
got that same
advantage
advice
of
last week. Someone's telling me something.
Someone's telling me something.
God trying to speak to me.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Like, you know, just I would say take that into consideration a little bit so it can push you further because there are ages, people like that are willing to pick up that fresh talent that's got that it factor. It's everywhere, especially in the city of Los Angeles. Like you get around here, the possibilities are endless.
It is.
You know?
That's why I moved here.
Yeah.
Impossible
Well,
is
you already
possible
on the
here.
right trajectory. You did. Lily, how about
Yeah.
you? What made you say yes to this role? Like, what made you say, hey, I'm going to pick this one up?
Wow.
Let's get it.
Funny thing is that I feel like I manifested it because a week before I even got the email, I had just written down like things I wanted to do for the year. And one of it was like, I want to book another role. I hadn't acted in like about 2 years. And the last thing I did was pretty big. It was, it's called El Ganador. It's on Netflix. And I played Nicky Jam's sister, which is like on his life and all that. And I've never done a role like, I always get supporting roles of like the lead that kind of like, never done like a love interest, nothing. Actually, I did one, hated it, but this was dope because it literally came into my email, and I had worked with them like 8 years ago on this small like maybe 2-line thing, not for like anything for them to remember me, you know. So I thought it was dope because like I just randomly got this email. I was like, oh, we want you for this role. And they had been already reaching out like years prior to see if they got me in anything, but it's just like timing wise wouldn't align. And then I had nothing really in that moment. I was like, heck yeah, like I wanted something, you know, I wanted to act in something. And then when I read the role even more, I was like, oh, I could do this. Like I felt this is perfect for me, perfect for, you know, what I want to do, and just kind of get myself back in the mix of acting. And, you know, this would be a role that I'd be carrying throughout the whole, you know, movie. So I'm like, I could do this.
So before you only had 2 lines that you've ever did.
Well, working with them, yeah, in the past. So like I guess they remembered working with me.
And then that's when you went to the Netflix joint.
Exactly. But that was years ago, like 8 years ago or something like that. Yeah. So it's just dope because that just also tells you like, you know, I'm like a yes person. I'm like, if there's an opportunity, it doesn't matter how much I'm getting paid or whatever. Like for me, it's like if the opportunity is there, like I'm gonna take it, you know.
Who doesn't love a yes chick?
You know, and like I'm not yes to everything. We don't say yes to everything.
Yes.
Career-wise, you know, if I see a benefit.
Caught you, baby.
Only
We
the
got
good
you.
things.
Only the good things. No, but career-wise, if I think it's gonna benefit me in the long run, you know, I'm like, yeah, like I'm up for the opportunity, especially if it aligns with what I want to do. And you know, like it's always about having good, you know, character, good energy, and I think that's what people remember. You know, if you're easy to work with, and so when they reached out, I was like, I'm in. Like, so that was that.
took it on and got to rapping, and that's how it happened.
Exactly.
Love that, Lily. We love that, Mama. Kevin, talk to us. What made you say yes to this role? Because obviously this is one of the things that you fought through the hardest in your life. Doing this.
Is that what?
Because you were like, this is
that what I said?
Because you pretty much said this shit was a stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit was this shit was a head scratcher a little bit. Like you was about to probably really get in character because it was making you a little frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm about to trip this down around
hilarious.
here. Donuts and coffee. All this shit.
Wow, I was just about to go off.
Yeah. But I could have been wrong. But I could have
Are
been
you
wrong.
laughing at how I said that?
I'm laughing at it because I'm thinking about a specific scene that
I know you are. I know
She
you
comes
are.
off so wholesome.
I know.
You know,
I
so
am.
it's
I
like,
had to get like buck on somebody.
Yeah,
It
like-
was still
Everyone was laughing at
wholesome.
me.
had to get crunk. He like, we know your nice ass ain't like this. Like, sit your
No,
nice
between
ass down.
takes, I know everybody was laughing. I was doing my best, but everybody was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Gavin hasn't done this before. No, I just don't cuss people out in real life.
Maybe you can come over. I'll train you, get you right.
Can
soon.
you?
Yes. I'll show you some of my greatest work.
I cannot.
I'll show you
I
some demo
cannot with
tapes
you.
you've never seen.
Oh, wow.
I promise you, you'd be
Demo
like,
tapes?
yeah. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to tell you,
Somebody
Gavin, I'm like, now see, embody that shit.
No, practice.
Get
Go.
that shit right.
Wow.
I promise you.
I do need some. Yeah, I do need some. I just need
I
to.
got
I
your
just need to
back.
cuss someone out
I'll
like
do you a
every single
discount.
day for the next
'Cause I
30
care.
days. Oh, thank you.
I
Thank you
care.
so much.
Discounted for sure.
You're hilarious.
I got your back.
This is so funny.
I got your back.
Thank
But I
you
need
so
to know,
much.
like, what made you, because we got the jokes. We've laughed about it. Okay.
What made me say yes?
What made you say yes to this role?
So sometimes I always tell God, I'm like, I don't know what's best for me.
Yeah.
I know what I want and I know how I want things to go. But if you have a different plan, your plan is always better. So just let me know. And this was definitely one of those moments because I primarily focus on my music. And yes, I've acted since I was a kid, but naturally my life just took that turn, and that's what's been fruitful and fun. And I just was kind of waiting for acting moments if they arose, but I wasn't necessarily pursuing them as hard anymore because I was just very focused on music. So I got the call to audition for this role, and I auditioned for it. I turned in my tape. Then I didn't hear anything back, and I was like, okay, cool. That happens all the time. Move on with my life. No big deal, And then about 2 days before they started shooting, I got the call that I got it. So I was very surprised, to say the least, because it wasn't on my radar. I literally had forgotten about the audition, like in a healthy way, You kind of have to do that when you're an actor. And I said yes because it seemed like a really good opportunity to, number one, obviously stretch myself. Number two, work with really talented women. I did not know a lot about these women before I said yes, but I knew that the caliber of actors that were going to be on the project were going to be at a certain level just because I was familiar with the director's work, and I just kind of know how he rolls, and I know that he was going to be really diligent about who he casted. So I was like, that would be cool. And then I think 3 was just, I love being on set as an observer. You learn so much when you're on that set, when you're observing kind of every single person doing their job, whether you're in front of the camera or behind the camera, observing the director, how he's communicating, observing PAs and how they are effective, and just kind of taking it all in. I hadn't been on set in a while, so just to do that again and to learn that way was really appealing to me. So it was kind of threefold in that way.
It seems like for you, you didn't really just say yes to a role; you accepted a challenge.
Yes.
And to see you accept that challenge of having a role that you may not have been very familiar with in the past of doing anything else, and I hear you say that you had concentrated on your music.
Yeah.
It has to be amazing to be able to be a woman that's willing to take on the task, accept the challenge, and
And
execute.
do it scared, you know? I do a lot
Sometimes,
scared.
hey, you know,
have to.
You don't have to be.
Yeah.
You don't have to be completely sure. You don't have to be completely
Yeah.
confident when you say yes to something. Like I think a lot of people do really amazing things scared. You know, that's not. that's sometimes a part of the gig. You know, a part of the experience. So yeah.
I love that. What did you guys enjoy the most about the shoot? Like, what did you guys enjoy the most out of all of it? Was it the experience? Was it the
Laughing,
the entire experience.
Yeah, but just like
Different
having
locations.
fun, like
Yeah.
off camera, just in
Doing
between,
stunts.
and doing.
For me, like
Yeah.
cussing everybody out to rob a bank.
Yes,
Just
That was
popping up and
fun.
doing
That
crazy
was really
stuff,
fun.
like the stunt guns, all of that. Like I love that.
I know it's fun. I actually liked wearing the belly because I didn't even.
You did.
Well,
You
I
loved that belly.
loved it. I think it's because I just didn't have to worry about do I look fat, do I look like doesn't matter.
That is
like
true.
it was
You
just
didn't have
like
to worry about your angles.
Yeah, like I didn't care about my angles. I didn't care if I was slouching. Like everything was okay. I was like,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
great. Like,
That's true.
So I like that.
So I guess that was an answer as a whole right there.
Yeah.
You ask everybody. I guess that was an answer as a whole. Let's get to the part of where people, because this is the part that kind of bothered me. So I'm gonna ride with y'all on this.
good.
We're
Yeah.
gonna talk a little bit of shit.
Okay.
I didn't like how people tried to downplay it, trying to say it was, it'll never be another Set It Off. Hold the up. Let's pump that shit right there.
Okay.
Because if that's the case, if this is given that even in a short spurt, I respect it because we need something like that.
Yeah.
We need something modernized.
Yes.
People ain't going back and watching Set It Off. Half the
They're
motherfuckers don't even know what it is. But
So
guess what they about to
true.
know? It's Robbin.
Exactly.
Because it's
That's
in the
true.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can be revamped. And I feel like it gave maybe a little bit of a plot twist to it,
but not
it seems
good.
like it's
Yeah.
more on some Action Jackson type shit.
It is.
It doesn't seem like it's on some like, I don't know. It just didn't give me the Set It
Yeah,
Off.
no,
like,
it's not cookie cutter Set It
Yeah.
Off.
No,
not
It's
at all.
not. It's definitely modern. And like even as an artist, when I think about how artists like to do samples and revamp and do this and do that, it's like sometimes in order to bring fresh ears or fresh eyes to that original thing, you have to take this new thing to be the vessel to bring that awareness to the old thing. So
Right,
it's like
right.
it's one of those kind of
Well,
things.
realistically, I saw Set It Off after we did this because I didn't know what it was, and everybody
see what
kept
I'm
telling me. But I didn't
saying?
grow up. You know, I grew up very Latin, very Spanish. You know, so to me, it's like I didn't know what Set It Off was, and then I was like, wait. Obviously, I know the cast because they've grown with us, and I've seen them in many other movies and stuff, but never saw that movie. So to me, it's like this is like how I'm bringing it to our generation because for me it was new.
it falls into like the dead presidents category. All the time. You ever seen dead presidents? Shit like that. Like it falls into a very nobody having money. Starting off, like nobody had a good life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's kind of how Robbin came off, just kind of like, well, not even because it seemed like they were gonna move old girl up to president. Like they were like, we was just about to move you up to president. Like she's like, I ain't take shit. And I feel like all it did was just show that everybody has their breaking point.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what I feel like the movie kind of embodied. I've only saw little bits and pieces of it, but from what I've saw, it's absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to really indulge. You know, because hey, for people to say that, they're like, Set It Off. Is it like be happy that they're trying to even bring a piece? They're giving some respect
Oh, it's
to
all
the original,
Exactly. That's what
and
it
then
is.
taking their own twist.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think the goal for is to replace what has already been done.
Not
It's
at
just,
all.
it's
And
just,
there will never be another Set It Off. Like I agree.
All
There
y'all
will
did
never-
was try to revamp. And what I mean by that is
Use
just,
that as
you know,
inspiration.
just bring it and modernize it more. You know, if they were trying to make it Set It Off, they would have called it Set It Off 2.
Exactly.
Set It Off 3. They would have called it if it was gonna
If that's
it
what
was
they
gonna
were
be.
wanting to do.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
probably will do that. Now that we
you
put it
just
out
never
there,
know.
you know, somebody might
It
do
might
that.
plant a
but
seed
we did
for
it first.
them.
No.
Exactly. You know?
Kidding. But it's definitely more of an inspiration than a replica or something that is trying to be exactly like that. Yeah, I think that it's just one of those stories that deserves to be retold or reimagined, and why not do it in this way? And you'll see, like, the plot points are very different. The characters are really different.
Because I know you'll tell me, because they'll probably send you that whole one sheet of what everything was about. Did they tell you that this was supposed to? Did they ever tell you? Did they ever tell you, like, hey, we want you to go for reference, maybe watch Set It Off?
No,
we didn't know until I didn't know until I started like hearing it, and even in the comments when the poster came out.
And then we make a joke about it in the movie as well.
And then we did in the movie.
We're kind of like, oh, is this going to be like Set It
That
Off?
shows the love, though.
Yes,
that
that shows
gives it
kind of like
love. That shows that, hey, you're not pissing and spraying paint over the mural that was there. You went next to it and made your own.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
people should take that into consideration. Like, whoever wrote that was dope. You know what I'm saying? For doing that, you know? And to not tell you to go watch any of that because he wanted y'all to bring a feel for how y'all felt about the character.
Exactly.
You know,
We were even having a conversation about, like, when it came to Set It Off, what character do we feel like we would be? And it's like, we couldn't even figure out who we would be.
Yeah.
As far as, like, I don't know who Q would be in Set It Off.
Did you watch? Have you ever seen Set It Off?
Yeah. I've seen Set It Off a lot of times.
So I can definitely ask you, like, did it, and be honest, did it give you that feel if that's what you felt like they were trying to embody?
No, I felt like the only thing I can say is similar is telling the story of how it is to not have anything and be at the point to where it's like, I don't give a damn what I gotta do as long as I'm not going back to this life.
Which is a good ground base.
Yes,
It's a good ground base to start off of.
Yeah, it is.
And it's real,
It is.
It's real for a lot of people.
They can't be mad because y'all went and got y'all same canvas board from the same place they got it. The picture ain't painted the same.
At all.
It's not.
It's just on the same type of body, man, the same type of canvas.
Well,
you know?
heist films, it's a heist film.
It's a heist film. You know,
There's
what
so
are they
many good
shocked
heist
about?
films.
That it's women because there's not a lot of women. There's not a lot of movies
Black
that
women.
involve
Yeah.
women.
Besides Set It Off. So
That's really
why
that.
it's
Black and
typically-
brown.
That's why that shit's happening like
Yeah,
that.
because
It
imagine
is.
how many heist movies and shows there
And
are.
let y'all have been men.
Exactly.
Nobody
They
would
wouldn't
have
know,
ever
would have
thought.
said
oh,
that.
this is like
Right,
this.
no
This
one
is
would've
like
said
that. No. Like,
I think we're getting somewhere.
we are.
I think we're kind of getting somewhere in how like we really look at this film, because like I said, for Set It Off, I mean, I love that movie, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, Vivica Fox, like it's got some of the best in it, Nobody could ever, I don't think anybody could remake that. Some movies are just one of one.
Oh yeah.
Especially, so I'm like, for y'all to like bring us something new should be exciting for the people that have watched movies like Set It Off
Exactly.
and Dead Presidents, and other heist films that are like that. You know what I mean? I think this should really bring some excitement to people who love movies, movie heads. You know what I'm saying? This should be one for the record books.
For sure. I mean, there's like every different type of movie has like a genre, right? So it's kind of like, I think about like narco shows. There's a whole bunch of narco shows and the stories are all similar. They all
Like
tell the
Queen
same
of the
story.
South, they had her.
And then Grease is Blanco. And then it's
Hotel Cocaine. So many, like,
so many. Pablo
But all
Escobar.
with their own twists.
They all have their twists, but they all kind of look similar. They're shot
genre.
similar. Even the filter they use is like similar.
That
So it's
type of
like
thing,
you can't base it on that because at the end of the day, the people that like to watch these certain type of movies and shows are gonna want to watch, Robbin. So
we've talked about the characters, we've talked about the movie, but I definitely want to know who you guys are as, for just your personality. I want to know, like, is there any other type of things that you do other than acting? Is there anything else you got going on that we should know
100%.
about?
So I just dropped a video called "Feel Like" to my single. I'm an artist. I sing.
Okay.
All of us are.
We
which
are.
is funny. We didn't know that either upon casting.
I love this. The first time you guys have seen each other.
Yes.
Since like filming. Since filming, this is the first time you guys have sat down and been able to
It's been
work
months.
together on this and unpack the lunch.
Yes. But like I said, we're all artists. I just dropped a video outside of my artistry.
Okay.
I'm also a hairstylist. So I just got
Okay.
on tour with Lady London. I was her hairstylist for her tour.
She better paid you well. You my people
Yes.
now. She better broke bread or play
listen,
dead.
lady,
Don't ever do her hair again.
Lady, that's my
Ever.
twin, okay? That's my
I'm
girl.
just fucking with you. I talk shit a little bit. We are in the Shark Tank.
We Shark Tank.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I wear many hats. I make clothes, I style, I design.
Smoke weed?
No, I quit.
You smoke weed?
I do sometimes.
It's just some bit chronic. Would you like to smoke? I mean, I know this is a podcast where, you know, we do some very unique. You can let your hair down. We do some unique things. I mean, you came in with it down, baby. We're just trying to help it get just a little bit more. You did? We got you.
He said we need volume.
Straight up. We are here because I'm going to smoke. I'm going to do my thing.
Please do.
As we're
We're
sitting
in your
here.
I love
space.
that.
You know, I don't want to intrude because you are my guest. You know, so I don't want y'all to have to smell things that you may not want to smell. You know, I smell
it's
good.
okay.
You know, some of the things I do is going to get a little loud in here. You know, it's going to get a little louder than us. So, you know, if anybody gets a contact high, y'all sign that thing at the door. Hey,
We did.
Sign that thing at the
it will
door.
not be our fault.
We have nothing to do with that.
Got it.
It will not.
That's a you problem.
It will not
Yes,
be. It will not be our fault. You know.
That's
so
a
you
you
say you had
problem.
did it. You said you had did a single. You had just got done doing a single.
Yeah, I released the visual to that. Make sure y'all go check that out too. It's real sexy. It's real nice. So the type of artist I am, I do like Afro Caribbean, Afro
I love
R&B vibes. Yeah.
No ratchet baby mama shit.
No.
love that.
Like honestly,
that.
like prior to me like tapping into the Afro Caribbean vibe, because I'm Haitian, but like prior to that, I made like pretty girl, sad girl music. Like I like to sing. Like if it was up to me, like we were talking earlier, I will always sing with a band or a guitar. Like
Yeah, why
but
not?
it's so funny because my aesthetic give like rapper, like it gives different. You don't see that, you don't think that, but yeah, like ain't no ratchet shit. Shouts out to the ratchets. I love y'all, but that's not
That's not what you're
me.
trying to
Like,
portray.
yeah, it's not. Like I gotta be true to myself. That's how we express ourselves as artists, and
Because you
that's-
feel like it's easy to hop in that game, huh? You can
it's
make
so
the
easy.
nastiest song
The crazy
tomorrow and
thing
probably be
is,
on.
and the crazy thing is like I really could rap.
Pop your pussy
and
all
do
one
all
time
of that.
from on camera and say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm getting my rent paid. You might just have you in.
Exactly.
It's f***ed up. And I say that like not to say that's what you should be. I'm just like, damn, it's f***ed up because that's true. It's like
is
you
very
really got to
true.
struggle if you're trying to be a true artist.
Yeah, if you, or you just being true
You know,
to yourself.
There's no
Like,
true artists
who
in
you
this shit.
are.
Like if you're trying to be a true
Yeah.
artist, you got a hell of a road ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you get on, like that's what I love.
Then there's
because-
longevity.
Yeah, because her
Yeah.
music, if that's the type of you're cutting that Caribbean feel, your music will go longevity if it does get on, because the world gonna hear it. It's not gonna get stuck over here in a box.
Exactly. And that's why I make music that I resonate with and I stay true to myself, because I don't like to box myself in. Like I told you, I do hair, I do this. And to know me, you can't put me in a box. So like when it comes to my artistry, I don't like that to be boxed in either.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think in the world we live in, nobody can be boxed because we all do multiple things.
No, but a lot of people are.
do.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying though is that now I feel like there's more room for people accepting that, you know?
Yeah.
Back, I don't know, 5 years ago, you know, people are kind of like, oh no, you're an influencer, or you're just this, or
You
you're
gotta
just
stick to
that.
one thing.
You just got to stick to one thing, and now I feel like, you know, there's more room, and people are kind of acknowledging, oh, okay,
That's true.
she does this, she does that, you know.
That's true.
But yeah,
Oh, how about you?
I'm a Latin artist. I finally left my label, so I'm like
were you with?
celebrating Universal Latin.
Okay.
You know, not to shade on labels. I just think that, you know, they want you to work like an independent artist, but signed, you know, and I don't think that makes sense or fair. So I had to get myself out of that situation.
They just wanted you. It's pretty much like and don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just trying to vibe with you. You're pretty much saying it's like they try to use you like an authorized dealer. Like here, you can use the name, but you're kind of on your own.
Basically, yeah. So it's like, you know, you still got to put out your music and push it and do everything basically. Like if you are independent and asking, but you have to ask for approval to do anything. So it's like, it wasn't really working for me. And also like I'm Latin, but I'm Latin American. Like I grew up here. I speak English just as much as I speak Spanish. So it's like, I want to be able to use, you know, both of my talents, you know, I want to be able to tap into both. And I was out in LA for like 7 years before I moved back to Miami to pursue the Latin, side of my career.
Miami's a good place to do it.
Exactly. Right now, like Miami's where to be. So, to me, it's like I want to be able to come back to LA and tap in and connect with the people that the relationships I built out here, because I was here for like 8 years and worked with I was on Too Short's podcast. I was like one of the hosts for a time and then worked with Snoop for a little bit. Like I was working with so many people that I'm like, I don't want to get rid of these connections. Like this is things that I can use to my advantage. But now I'm just, trying to release music and just do my thing on my own terms.
You're smart, because to be real, like one of them things gonna pop.
For sure.
Some gotta get.
For sure.
If you keep trying to live, I'm saying? Like, but it's f***ed up because I always feel like this, right? And I've said it many times. I'm like, to get 100% out of anything, you got to put 100% in.
110.
You can't really. It's hard to really spread the time.
Yeah.
Or to just spread that percentage out there because you'll never get what you're probably looking for.
For sure. So, no, and funny enough, you say that because from like 2020 to now, my main focus has just been music. That's why like the acting is something I wrote like manifesting. I want to do this, but in reality, I wasn't looking for it.
You just left the spark and hopefully catch a flame.
Yeah, like because at the end of the day too, like. I don't like you said, I don't like being boxed. And I also feel like when people think you're focusing on one thing, you can't do other things, and at the end of the day, it's not like acting is taking away all of my time and that's it. I got to forget about music. Like even working out here during the movie, I was able to get in the studio and attend, like music events and stuff. So, and for me, like I'm all about my work. So I don't mind. My whole life is about, my hustle and my work. So it's like, really, I have the time to do it. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I think one thing could lead to the next. Maybe it might be the movie. It might be the song. It might be a collab. We never know, It might be a brand deal. Like, we never know what really is going to take us to the next level. And for me, it's like, I'm a dip where I can and just,
girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all smart, though. Y'all don't need to be smoking on camera.
Smoking?
Y'all don't need to be smoking on camera, even if you do smoke weed.
Why?
Because you never know who's trying to pick you up and be like, hey, I don't want that.
Yeah, no, funny enough, I've never publicly smoked or anything. That's just like a me thing.
But y'all was all smart, y'all passed. Because I was going to tell you no. That's why I
feel like you're not even going to offer me, though. I feel
like you just, we know what you're on, Gavin.
Gavin is like,
we know what you are.
Like,
I don't even expect it. That's you getting silly like Sharp. You don't want to smoke. I'm not going to do that. It's not a role we're playing. Now they pay me off. Blaze,
Such an easy target. I love it.
No,
I love it. I know you love
We
it.
love you. We're not here on any type of drag, okay? I promise.
Know. I feel the love. I feel the love.
No, that's dope though. Like that you doing your thing, baby. And I just hope that I thought it was very it's very smart of you to leave that spark real quick. Hopefully it starts to flame. You're like, no, I ain't really trying to take it too serious, but if somebody likes it, somebody want to pick it up and come pay for it, I got it on deck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on deck.
Let me remind you, I still got this talent.
Yes, it's on deck and it's ready to go.
Ready to go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, like you said, I think you learned that from leaving behind those 2 sentences. And that shit taking you to just another level. You're like, so shit, okay, me leaving little sparks in the bush can light a flame.
Yeah.
And they're like the best one even when I'm not looking.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight up. I like that.
Look at that.
Well, look at that. I'm definitely, look at that. I ain't gonna lie, right? Hey, guys, I ain't gonna lie. While we're sitting here having story time and we're in circle and we're in group, I'm definitely curious to know, for you, for else do you do?
I do? What do you think I do? What am I giving?
Trying to start a crocheting business on the side.
A crocheting business?
Yeah, where you got something going, you know? Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Definitely
I'm just
not
gonna go
doing
way out
that.
because I don't know.
You went way out.
You look like
way
you like
out.
skinless cats and drive Teslas.
Skin cats?
Yeah, you know the cats that don't got no hair and you be like, those are my
I don't like those. I hate those cats.
Yeah.
I don't like those cats. Skinless cats and drive Teslas. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
You seem like you have different beliefs. Maybe that's the better wording. You just seem like you got some different beliefs that I'm interested in.
I definitely do. No,
I believe it.
No, I mean, yeah, sure, we all do, right? We're all individuals.
Yeah.
You have very different beliefs.
I do. But, I think some of my beliefs, they're common to some street people.
Yes.
So they have a common, they have a common movement to them. As of for you, I feel like, sweetie, it's just a one of one.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's. I don't think anybody's doing that.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you do.
What are you really doing?
Whatever it is you do.
What are you really doing?
Yeah, like what do you do other than acting and music? Like what's your
other than acting and music? No, really, I was gonna say really what I do other than acting is music.
Okay.
I love performing, but I like these lovely women. I'm just an artist. I'm a performer, and I love to be creative. So whether that's on screen, whether that's in the studio, whether that's at home, trying to make myself some food, it's all creative.
You do cute interviews too, though.
I do. Oh, I do. I do street interviews. I do street interviews.
You do the woman on the street.
I do. I call it Diva of the People.
Yeah, woman on the street shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is so
I've done
much
man on the
fun.
street. It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
It's fun. It's fun shit.
People in LA especially are absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you knew that, but
I've been to some of if you watch some of the vlogs that I've done from I think I've done Rolling Loud. I've done. I've talked to cause I'll talk to celebrities and shit. I keep that because I got to get it for the people. But I'll go out there and I'll get in the mix with the people, and you'll be surprised.
Oh, so surprised!
Fuck you run into, man. I got little white girls throwing up gang signs from Alaska. I mean, it gets crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
You get outside.
People say,
you got some shit out there, boy.
people-
This shit's the jungle.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how people are living.
No, it's very true because I just have a little tiny microphone. As soon as I put that little pink mic in front of people's faces, I see all kinds of crazy
What's
things.
like a question that you ask people out there? What's one of your most famous ones you feel like gets the most traction?
Okay, I have not gone viral yet for this street interview series that I do, but I am going to continue because I know that it has a lot of potential. At least I'm telling myself that. No, but really every time I go out there, I put on an outfit. I put on a Lookiana. I look my best. I have my hair out. I have my earrings on.
Period.
I look like a disco queen because that's what I am.
Yes.
And I ask people, for context for our audience, would you consider yourself a diva? Why or why not? And no matter what you look like, I ask you that question, and people say some interesting things.
So you're asking grown ass men this?
Oh
too.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I definitely want to tune in there because I want to see how
Honestly,
people's
though,
reaction is
they
to that.
are- a lot of these men be acting like divas. I'm let me tell you, they might not admit it or know it.
A lot of niggas don't.
They are.
A lot of niggas act like full blown bitches. No, straight up.
Right.
It's true.
Some people admit
It's true.
it, and some
They're in
people
their
are
soft girl
really
era.
offended.
They are.
Yeah, right.
Sassy.
The soft girl.
Sassy.
Yes.
Everything.
Ooh,
Damn, tell a nigga, hey, nigga, you in the soft girl era. You need to cut that shit out.
Nah, but for
That shit
real.
gonna make any nigga turn up. You know how I tell you. Like, tell a nigga like, yeah, nigga, you in the soft girl era, nigga.
Soft girl here.
What?
hilarious.
I'm hot.
It's true.
Fucking livid.
Soft life.
I'm fucking livid. You come and tell me, yeah, Sharp, you in the soft girl era. Cut it out, nigga.
Wow.
Cut it out,
What?
nigga.
Damn.
We're having problems.
Yeah.
Anybody can say some shit like that. Like,
We have, yeah.
that's crazy. But like, I like how you use it because you use it in a different sense. You like, hey, you'll walk up, you're on some disco queen shit, and you ask them, hey, do you consider yourself a diva or what else? What do you compare it to for them? Do you consider yourself a diva or not? Pretty much.
Yeah, diva, devo, whatever you want to.
Devo.
Yeah, devo.
Never heard of that.
Never heard that.
Yeah,
See, you learned something every day. So I asked her
thing.
what you really into, Gavin? Like what you
Diva, devo, div, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
like however you identify. There's a way to say it.
I think I've seen some shit
Yeah.
like that. I think I've seen something like that on like that family swap shit one time, and it was like a diva family. Yeah,
Diva family.
where they swap like parents in the household.
I need to
you know what I'm
interview
saying?
them.
Yeah, it was crazy, and like they were acting like there was one couple that it was a man and a woman. To keep it short, they had kids and everything, and like he considered himself, like you said, like a divo. He was a diva. You gotta go pull it up. It was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
whole household, like just the way they lived. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
just Tell them
And everyone
already.
has a different
Tell 'em.
definition, so that's also part of the fun because some people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, a diva is a bitch," or a diva is someone that knows what they want and that are
Don't make
super
it okay,
confident.
Gavin. You don't make it. You're trying to make it okay. To me,
Wait, make what okay?
it's not okay. A man being a grown ass man and call himself a diva. Just be what you are at that point.
Yeah,
Just be what you are at that point.
Be what you are. That's
It
what I
ain't
mean.
that,
It's
brother.
just there's no judgment.
Brother,
it's
it's
just
not
whatever.
that, brother. It's not that, brother.
I love this. I did not expect to talk about this at all.
What's going
I want to
on?
just say that.
It's not that, brother.
But I will say though, the reason
Talk to us.
for this interview series, this street interview series that I do, it's so much fun. I love doing it just because I have the best time. But my album that I'm promoting is called Diva of the People.
Yeah.
So it's a part of just
Come
the
on,
rollout
roll out.
package.
I don't know that's
Trying. Marketing plan.
I'm also an indie artist, so we have to be our marketing agent. We have to be our PR. A lot of times, we have to kind of wear all these different hats. And for me, Diva of the People is it's just such a fun way to say, like, hey, I'm glamorous and I have my beautiful days and I am painfully average other days and I can be messy and I can be all over the place. But yeah, I also have this other side of me. And so I think it's just a fun way to say I'm many different things at the same time.
10
And
days
you all
of
are
you
too.
guys together. You all are too. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, right? And this is what I've analyzed.
Wait,
10 days of all y'all in the house together, non-stop.
What?
Some shit's
A lot of
popping
divas?
off. Oh no, just some shit's gonna pop off. The personalities are crazy. You
think so?
Yes.
You notice stuff like this?
Yeah.
10 days, 10, 20 days. I gotta ask y'all, like, would you because you just being on film, it's hard to get comfortable
Sure.
on film,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Gavin? Like, it's hard to get, like, for some people. Some people got it, like we were saying, some people don't. Would you ever be, and I'll start with you, would you ever consider doing any type of reality TV for the right bag?
The crazy thing is, I started off doing reality TV. I was on Black Ink Crew in New York.
Was you?
Yeah.
I used to watch that.
I was the girl with the blue hair. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was you?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
That was you?
Yeah. So
That was you?
That was me. Unfortunately.
That was you?
That was me.
Not unfortunately.
Wait, what happened out with the tea?
She said it. I mean, I want the tea at this point. Why was that unfortunately?
Well, cause like, what you saying? Like, how would you do reality TV for the right bag? I
That's a
would
great
do
question.
reality TV if I'm executive producing, if I'm in control of what I look like,
Yeah.
if I'm in control of
You got
how my
smart.
character is being
got
spent.
smart.
Because what I know now
Yeah.
from back then is that you are a pawn on the chessboard. And just like any other show, there are certain characters that you need, whether it's scripted or it's non-scripted. You need somebody that's messy. You need somebody that's promiscuous. You need somebody that's a punk. You need somebody who like to fight. You need all of these different things.
She know what she
And
talking
you
about,
get to
though.
a
Listen
point,
to her.
because
She
this is how
talking
you
real.
make good TV.
She talking
So
real.
it gets to the point, if you're not f***ing or fighting,
Oh, wow.
you have no camera time.
I don't know. Wow, it's true.
So true.
You have
Very true.
absolutely no camera time. So what I've gathered from that is I would have to be executive producing that. I would need some residuals from that. I would need royalties from that. I'm not in a position in my career right now to where I think it's necessary to be exploited the way some people do for the sake of fame. A lot of people get into reality TV because they want to be famous. They don't want to be successful. They don't want to be rich. They want to be famous. They want to walk in rooms. They want to get notoriety from peers, but they don't even know, they don't have an end goal. They don't know what they want to do after that.
Yeah.
And with me, this is why I don't really bring it up unless I'm asked. This is why if you go to my page, you don't see it in my bio. You don't see any of that because I didn't want that to be my claim to fame, so to say. I didn't want that to be the thing where people knew me as. And in like the rooms that I'm in now, if I would have stayed doing that, I wouldn't be invited in these rooms.
Yeah, or be
Yeah.
respected. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That respect and being invited, that's the same thing. You know, like my contact list is different. The spaces that I'm in is different.
Yeah.
Everything don't make the internet. But that specific type of person, that character, that personality, everything makes the internet.
Right.
Everything is posty. Everything is, you know what I'm saying? So for me, just where I am right now, like my artistry comes first, whether that may be Jada Blue, the actress, or Jada Blue, the singer. But all that other shit, like, I leave that for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
No, real shit. I mean, I feel like you got smart because there's not a lot of girls they're not really in position though.
Yeah.
Jada to
And
walk
I
in there
get
and
it.
make them demands like, hey, look. Like, even it's something as subtle as like, hey, look, this is how I want to be portrayed on camera, let alone coming in and being able to produce some shit. You know what I'm saying? From lows to highs.
I don't even think that they would be okay with you doing that. Like, they'd be like, no,
right.
we'll pass.
Yeah,
Right.
They wanna have
This
control.
is real.
Exactly, because
Unless
there's
you're
so
turned
many.
up already, and like you're super turned, they know they
It's
want
no
you back.
different.
All right, let her run her play.
Exactly. It's no different from like being an independent artist and making a lot of noise and making a name for yourself and having numbers, doing your own tours, and then going to these labels like, I need all my rights, I need my masters, I need this, I'm owning this, because the ball in your court at that point. So just like you said, if you are someone who's already lit and they hit you up like, yo, we want you, the ball is in your court. All right, well, I need X, Y, and Z. If y'all trying to meet me somewhere in the middle, all right, well, I can give y'all this, but I ain't doing this.
Right.
And this need to be in my contract.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not fighting. I'm not doing this.
I think where I'm at with it is, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I just, because I feel you on that, I'm just like, damn, it's up because the ones that are up and coming don't have a say.
They don't.
So, and they might be talented, or this might be just a stepping stone for them. I feel like reality TV should be a stepping stone.
It is.
It should never be somewhere
The
you
end
really try to
goal.
set
The
your,
end
like, and
goal.
plant your feet in. That's just supposed to be a place you stopped on the way to where you're going.
Where you're
Exactly,
going.
yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Funny enough, I don't know if I grew up watching TV a certain way, but I always felt like reality wasn't a route for anyone to get into the industry because realistically I didn't see anybody from reality, you know, maybe like Love and Hip Hop, you know, you saw some people like Cardi B, like a lot of people that ended up, you know, venturing out doing them, but other reality TV shows didn't really,
But they were controlled first.
you know,
Remember
yeah,
that?
no,
Like,
for
right
sure,
here, my
for
flipping,
sure.
Like, it ain't no
not
diss
different,
to Cardi, like nobody, because of course they've made their money these
For
days.
sure,
They've gotten
for
on, they're
sure.
doing their thing,
Right.
but they had to kind of be strung along first.
Yeah.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Play
You had
the
to be
role
that
that they
pawn.
wanted them to be.
You had to
Which
be
is
that
what she was
pawn.
saying.
Said
Yeah.
she ain't trying to do. She says,
No,
nah,
yeah.
I ain't.
I've been there
She
and
say
did that.
She mean herself means more to her than to be portrayed
sure.
in a light
Yeah.
that she doesn't want to be portrayed in for a couple bucks.
100%.
Exactly. Yep.
Because when you know yourself
I ain't mad
and
at
you
that.
watching yourself on
I ain't
TV
mad.
and you look nothing like yourself, that is one of those things where people refer to selling your soul. Like I never understood what that mean until I'm sitting at home and I'm watching the episode with my family. I have morals. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
people have different backgrounds and upbringings.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I was working with, they didn't have relationships with their parents. Some of them didn't even know who their parents were. You feel me? So it was one of those things. They didn't mind losing themselves in front of a camera because they didn't have anybody else to answer to. But me and my family is close knit. So when these episodes is coming out, I'm getting phone calls. What? Like, what's this about? What's this? You know what I'm saying? So for me, seeing myself and not being able to defend that person that was on camera because I didn't have any control of how that was being sent was enough for me to be like, nah.
Tell him Keisha. No, Keisha was from
Yeah,
Belly.
from Belly. Everybody say I look like
Tell him,
her.
Keisha. Tell him, baby. I don't know no fucking Kiana,
I don't
man.
know.
I don't know no fucking Kiana, man. You know what I'm saying? Take a shot. Who the fuck yeah, say she was sucking your little ass? I like how she pop it though. All jokes aside, she's keeping it real. Because I feel like that too. Like, yeah, there's some shit that a mother can go really exercise on getting a real big bag now. But how you gonna feel about yourself and how you look and how you did it on camera later on?
Later on,
You gonna be
when
really
you
happy
become
with
a
that?
mother, when you want a man to take you serious,
Right.
and you on TV, your breasts out, and you doing X, Y, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to do certain things, and it's a very fine line between tasteful and tasteless, and you know, don't disrespect to nobody that do it, you know, but just me personally, what I know and what I've seen and saw how women get exploited, I can honestly say I see why a lot of these people abuse substances, because a lot of time this is what they're feeding you before these cameras even come up. So you don't even really know who you are because you're inebriated, like you're under the influence. So when you watching yourself, you humiliated, but you don't even realize that you're being exploited. And like, no, but I get it. You gotta lose yourself in order to become this thing that they need you to be for this camera, to get this camera time. And it's like, it just comes to a point where it's like, nah, like, is this who I want to be? Is it worth it? Is this what I want for myself?
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
How about you? Would you take on any type of reality TV for the right bag?
Well, when it comes to like reality TVs, because I know a lot of type of reality TV shows, like for example, like kind of like a Ninja Warrior thing. Like if it's like that, then yeah, I would do something like that. Like where,
game shows.
Like game shows.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah.
about actually going, and that's
But,
why
like,
I made the
actual,
joke
like,
earlier
real
about
world
pretending.
house.
I made the joke. It was just to open it up to see where everybody's gonna be on this.
No, to be honest, no. You know, I got offered before to be like in Real Love and Hip Hop Miami and like, you know, Real Housewives. I'm not even a housewife, but like they wanted me to be the single girl, and I never saw this like appealing, and like I'm like zero fight girl.
You should
or
probably use that to your advantage, though. Going in on a show like that, think about like the Love and Hip Hop Miami. Going in on that, it could have probably sparked you in a different direction because you are in there by yourself. You're not gonna have to really fight with anybody, and they're
But
just
it's
looking
kinda
for
like
you
when
to
if
find.
you don't have a
They just
love
want you to find
interest.
some love somewhere.
I mean, but it's kind of like how she was saying though, if you're not you're fighting, it's
Right.
like, you know, and I just wouldn't.
The two Fs.
I'm very private about like.
your love life.
Yeah, like about my love life. Like to this day, no one's ever known who I've dated, and they don't
Nobody
need to
know who you busted open to.
Yeah, and they don't need to know. Like it's
Right.
not my career and my life doesn't revolve about who I sleep with. Like that's my business.
And
you
the
know?
scary part is you
So-
could have this love interest and you honestly don't even really have to date them. Like even with me being on Black Ink, I could speak about it now, but like there was people, you know, like certain cast members or whatever where I would be connected to, but we never really dated in real life. We never slept with each other. We never did any of that.
But they made it seem like y'all did.
Yeah, because that's sometimes how they have to introduce you into story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So yeah.
An
It's not
ugly
reality.
canvas
And
to
that's
paint on.
Very.
Yeah, so I'm good. I don't want to be part of anybody's story or be played to
Those
be
are ugly colors.
Yeah, and I also don't like to explain myself or have to like talk or try to convince anybody of who I am. So for me, it's like if they, and the sucky part is that once people already see you a certain way, it's hard to convince them to see you in a different way. You know,
Exactly.
so it's like I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you of who I am. Like I don't want to be put in a situation like that. Like I'm good. Like and I already like at least right now in my career in my life, like I also don't need it. Like I don't need that. You know, it doesn't matter. Like also like I've always thought about is like it's not about how much money I'm gonna make or whatever. Like I want my trajectory. Like I don't want any controversy or any bad, like if shit happens, right? But I don't want to put myself in a situation that I can't control, you know, and that would be putting myself in a situation that I can't control.
Very prone to scandal.
And what
Yeah, no,
about you?
I would pass. I would pass.
I would.
A hard pass. Hard pass.
She jumped on it quick. She said, yeah. And she said, after hearing these girl stories, no, Sharp, I ain't got nothing to do with any of that. I don't care about it's not about the money, Sharp. They can offer me $1 million, you know?
Oh man.
Hold
It was
on.
$1 million.
Gavin said, you know what?
No.
For everything.
But I wouldn't.
I mean, that's how I feel like if I were to do only, you know how many girls are making so much money on OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
And I'm still like, no, I'd rather be broke. Like, you know, so it's kind of the same thing. It's like, there's so many things, especially as women, that we can do if it was about the money.
Well, I feel like this, right? I feel like shit. A chick might as well go ahead and go hoe at that point. At least nobody's in your business. You can tell anybody the story you want to tell them how you got your bread on OnlyFans or on porn or anything like that. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. It's a little
very
bit
much in
different.
the
You know what I'm saying? When there's a chick that's kind of moving silently and she's just doing whatever she's doing, who the fuck's gonna ever know?
Exactly.
How
They'll
they
never know. That's your word, his
How would
word,
they know?
money you took. Hey, that's a
They'll
dead
never
end.
know.
Like,
That's true.
I don't even know this.
They're gonna know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who the is this? You know what I'm saying? It's a guy that's lying. You put that shit on camera, everything tells everything when it comes to that, and I understand that. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to put it out there on OnlyFans, and you're trying to put it out in porn, you kind of can't say that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or even mask it if you did need to go get a couple dollars, and this man just wanted to trick off on you a little bit, you know, just give me some I like you money. You know what I'm saying?
some I like you money.
Wow, I like you money.
Yeah, you know? You ever touch a couple dollars like that? You feel like some I like you money. It doesn't have to be
Hell
on
no.
Hell no.
Hell no. I can't
We
even
know what
pretend.
you've done. Hey,
Like that's the
Gavin.
thing. Like
We know.
I can't even pretend. Like I can't even pretend.
She said you've always kept
everything
it
that I
square and
think-
clean cut.
Yeah, like I'm a relationship girl. I can't even
I'm a
entertain a
lover.
nigga that I don't even like.
Well, there's some people that'll
Everything
talk.
Yeah.
For theirs, they'll talk like, hey, shit, he wants to get you somebody, he just wants to talk.
God bless them, because everything that I
Y'all
think
can
show on my
talk.
face.
You got just
There's a cost. There's a price.
For everything.
for Gavin.
For everything.
so,
And
Gavin?
David, hell yes.
For wait, maybe I was.
No, you were just speaking out loud.
Yeah,
That
those
was
were
her
your
in her
intrusive
mind,
thoughts.
And she just was speaking out loud.
Gavin.
I caught it, but she said it. And I'm going to be real. It's real,
I
though.
was
There's a price. Like,
There's a
for
price
everything.
For
to
sure.
everything,
Even if a man just
yes.
quote unquote wants to just talk.
That's
There's
what
a
I'm
price for
saying.
everything. I don't
That's
give
what
a-
I'm
you like,
saying.
you wanna
That's
give me
all I was
28,000?
I think that's a talent, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That is a talent.
That's a talent.
It
Like,
happens
I
every day.
admire those women that are able to. Like, I had my mom's friends. My mom's young, so she always has all these young friends, whatever. And I hear them talk. And this is even when I was like 14, 15. I would hear them talk, and it's just like amazing how they would get money and stuff, and just off hanging out or even talking shit. We would even go to lunch with them sometimes. Like, I've met the guys and they were cool, whatever, and I'm like, they're paying you to just hang out, like. And it's a talent. It's honestly,
Yeah,
but
it
I don't know
is.
what that talent
love.
is.
I love
I
that.
can't
Really is.
pretend.
I don't know.
You
It's
was saying,
true.
hey, I hear you. What'd you
But
say?
it is a talent.
I hear you,
I'm
though.
not saying it's
But
not
I
a
heard you,
talent.
though. And you
I
even
can't
called
even
it. Hey, I heard you.
pretend. I can't.
What?
I think I'm like a hopeless romantic kind of girl or something. Like I just,
I heard you.
I ain't
too.
asking
I
for shit.
can't. I can't pretend. And I do.
are.
You know what's so crazy? I hear about the girls. They getting all kind of shit from these niggas, and I'm
Yes.
like, how? So what are y'all doing? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
lives are y'all living?
Yeah.
Well, you had
Oh,
your
okay.
whole family, so your shit was kind of masked. People might not think that because, like she said, of her appearance, but I'll hear her. She's really had a wholesome family. Her people
Yeah.
was really there for her.
Yeah.
Mama,
Yeah.
daddy, brothers,
Same,
sisters,
yeah.
uncles,
Yeah.
aunties. They go on family reunions once a year.
Yup.
Yeah.
There's some shit going on in her family, so she's like,
true.
I don't really understand it, you know?
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
do get that, but there's some girls out there that's trying to get through acting school and trying to get through college or
Yeah.
trying to get
This
through
is true.
certain
No, I don't
things
knock their hustle. I
that
think-
might not have, and guess what? But they
Yeah.
might just have their looks at the time to feed on or
Absolutely.
be able to
Absolutely,
push,
yeah.
you know? And I see it, and I'm like, man, there's always a price for everything. Even if, like, a woman says, oh, damn, all he wants to do is talk. Yes, there are men out there that just
Yeah,
want to talk,
yeah.
and they'll pay you for their time. See, people have to fail to realize, and people fail to realize here, right? Not everything's about people really do want true companionship. Not a lot of people
Absolutely.
can gain that. You
Yeah.
can go pay for some. See,
Yeah.
that's easy. You can't really get like companionship. Isn't
Well,
really
I could tell
around.
you actually a story that
Or
happened.
friendship and religious to have a situationship where they can sit
For
back and
sure.
talk and the person act like they actually
For
care.
sure,
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
actually,
that's
when
where I feel at.
when I first moved
You
out here,
understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, there's
Yeah.
people out there and they'll pay their entire life
yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah.
get it. Just
There's
to
a lot of
act
lonely
like
people.
people.
A lot of
Let me-
lonely people.
I was just
you
about to
know, so
mention
it's-
the situation. So when I first moved out here, my mom moved out here with me and my little brother, and she actually met a guy that she was working with that would eventually, like, the friendship graduated, and he kept like inviting us almost every, like, around Thanksgiving to have a dinner because he didn't have a family, and like he just wanted to, like, and every time he lived like San Francisco, I think it was, and he kept always inviting us, like, would you guys want to go here? Would you, like, always inviting us on trips and stuff, and it was like he would stay somewhere, we would stay in a house, and it wasn't like anything like that, you know, but it was because he was lonely and he wanted a, like, family dynamic, and we were a
Kinda
family,
like
so
that
it felt like,
movie.
you know.
I think it was kind of like that movie. I don't know if it was called Surviving Christmas, something like that, but it was a Ben Affleck film. So you guys are all actors. A Ben Affleck film, right? And he played a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and all he wanted to do was for Christmas was have a real family and be in the house that he grew up in. So he went to the house that he grew up in. It was a full-blown family there. He paid them all to play as his family members for
No
Christmas.
way.
Yeah. Told him, I'll give you, you're not playing right. He says, I'll give you an extra $250. Man, what they stepping into play.
Wow.
He paid for all of it. I think Christina Applegate played in that movie.
God.
And the
I
dad
gotta
and the
watch it.
and the head
Yeah.
dude that was from Sopranos.
Okay.
He played like the father.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mom was from Home Alone, the mom that played in Home
mom.
Alone.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was
Okay.
all key actors, but like he paid them all to
Wow.
yeah, to
spend
have
Christmas
to spend
with them.
Christmas
Wow.
with them and paid them whatever it
real.
was.
I mean,
So it's very like even though it was a
sentiment
movie,
is real,
but just to
yeah.
But
kind
it's
of
based on things that,
it's
you
based
know,
on
rare
things that
happen.
really happened. Like he just wanted to sleep in his old room.
Wow.
Had their son play like his little brother, and nobody's trying to. They're just trying. They're f***ed up family, and like
Yeah.
actually he brought them together being there.
Is it a comedy?
You know, yeah, comedy,
Like a drama.
drama, yeah. But it was good. So it just goes to show it does exist.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
alive and
Yeah.
well.
Yep,
For sure.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Where can people find you guys? You know what I'm saying?
Everywhere.
Let's start with you.
Yeah, y'all can find me on every social platform. It's the real Jada Blue, JADAH Blue, and yeah, the one out of two. If you didn't know, now you do. Yeah.
Where can they find you at school?
Every platform, Lely Hernandez. Maybe there might be one platform with an underscore, but if you just look up Lely Hernandez, I'm everywhere.
Gavin?
Yes. Why you guys?
Gavin, yes.
Yes. Oh God. Okay. I think I'm contact high. I'm from you.
I know. And that's why before I did it, I made sure I said it.
He warned
know?
you.
It kind of warmed all
I'm
of you
so
up.
sensitive to
As soon as I lit
to
it.
weed. Yeah,
Really?
no. I
It
really do
opens you
feel
up.
like a little contact high. I am on every platform. Gavin Turek, GAVIN TUREK. Yep. I swear.
This was
I'm
very
so
interesting.
sensitive.
You said this was
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Was this what you were expecting? Like from no, not at all.
I like to meet people
got
just
deep.
like this.
You got
Yeah.
deep with us. Appreciate that.
Just normal. I mean, I don't know if it's your everyday, but like it's like one of my everyday conversations. What I like to do.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
Yeah. We could
These are
tell.
the best. These are the best conversations, you know. Because
I
like,
love these kind of interviews.
Yeah.
people
Me
ask me,
too.
what do I like to do? They be like, Sharp, what do you like to do on like your spare time? Like, what do you like to do when you're not here or you're, you know, not out on camera? I say, shit, I like to have stimulating conversations over cocktails.
Yes.
It's better than
Love
TV.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
better than any
It
movie.
is.
It's
It's
better
better than
because you learn a
anything.
lot about a person,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, or the people that
So
you're
true.
sitting with. So this was a dope story time.
It was.
Adult story time.
Everybody, I hope everybody, you know, feels good here. We're all in good
Yes,
health.
definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I appreciate you all for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you.
Hope you
Yes.
guys can come sit back down with me once again.
For sure. When I
Yes.
single
Yes. Well, we
If you
got
see
some.
my name hit on your board and say, hey, man, you scheduled with me, y'all better show the up or that's when
Yeah.
we're going to get a little ugly. You understand?
Nah, you better
Okay.
take us when we have a new single coming
I
out.
got you.
We got
Hey,
some
I got
motion.
you.
I got a new single. She got a new album.
Hey,
I shot my
whatever,
video.
whatever
Yes.
y'all got going on, I hope that, you know, y'all chime in with me. Come see me.
For sure.
My door is always open.
Thank you.
Professor Sharp, we're in here. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Love that.
You understand?
Yes.
Thank you.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Professor Sharp.
Thank you for joining the seminar today.
Thank you.
Amen. The Sharp Tank, no jumper.
And they're so
Sharpest,
red.
coolest podcast in the world. And that's another triple double. Hey, Donnie, shoot us out the motherfucking gym.